I didn't have any moments where
No, no,
I
no
thought
weird
of a
thoughts.
clever.
You know what I thought of this week, Steven? I was like, they say you are what you eat, you know? Does that
Ooh.
work like with everything? So like are there a bunch of insects going around like loving comic books and like RoboCop, whatever? Are they just like everything
Mosquitoes specifically, like mosquitoes are the true chameleons of the insect world because of this.
you're a nerd
Insects are
now.
like, you got to stay away from the fleas and ticks. Why? They got that dog in them. Like they're just gonna get you.
Hello, welcome to We Have Issues. I'm Anthony.
And I'm Stevie Wildcard.
Every week, Steve Wildcard and I get together and we do our best to overcome the various issues and obstacles that life throws our way in order to get something done and make comic books. Steven, we've been doing this for nearly 5 years now, and we've never missed a week, Steven. I realize it's been 234 weeks.
There's been weeks, mostly you, but there have been weeks where even Tina and I filled in, and we've
Yeah.
juggled that ball, if you will, back and
Yeah.
forth, and it's that ball has never hit the ground.
It's been crazy. If you're
It's
out there,
been the hottest potato.
it really has been the last potato. But we keep doing it. It's gross too. Imagine like how gross a potato would be just touching our fingers for 234 weeks in a row.
Oh my gosh, it's a
Oh my
lot. It's
God, the
a,
tendrils would wrap. It wouldn't even be a potato anymore. We'd be playing like jump rope with those gross roots. You know, like it's worth it. If you're
So
out
do you
there,
throw away your potatoes when they start sprouting? Because I
I
don't. I
no, no,
I
no.
just I
Wait,
just rub the sprouts off with my
get right
thumb.
off. Yeah, yeah. When I was a kid, I remember my parents would throw away their potatoes when they were like that. I was like, what are they? Like they what? Like they grow in the earth or something? You know, like what are these?
That potato is looking for water. It is so thirsty.
It wanted the pot of water because it needs to be cooked.
It's like,
Okay, how dare you?
reaching for the
But
sink, and you ruined it. You just destroyed, 2 weeks of growth.
just that potato, like it was trying to be one of the Fantastic Four. It's like, look, I can stretch out and I look like the thing. I'm two in one, baby. Then you throw it away. You're like you're invisible to me. When we'd like to set it on fire, make French fries. Anywho, yeah.
And then those fries become invisible. We got the all four, ladies and
Fantastic.
gentlemen.
We've been doing this for so long, and we've gone through a lot. We've gone through some good times, bad times, sad times, happy times. This week, Steven, your sister got married. That was,
Yes.
I'm gonna say, a huge deal. But what more important than I would say overshadowing the marriage itself was your phenomenal effort at hurting everyone at the last minute of this wedding situation.
Oh my god, there was just like that
What
realization, that quick realization, like, wait, stuff's about to happen, and I feel like the things that need to happen aren't
aren't
happening.
happening. Yeah, it was so funny. So for those of you out there, so Steven's sister is getting married. I was, thankfully, I was fortunate enough to be invited to the wedding. So I'm like, make it to the wedding, and before we even get there, I'm tasked with a duty, a very sacred, important duty. Is the thing.
The duty, really.
It was so important. I was making the okay. So I was asked if I would hold a phone and be in charge of starting the music for the procession. Like that as they made their way walking, the aisle. And I was like, yeah. I mean, first of all, duh, I'll do anything and that you need me to do. I love you. But also, I was like, oh my God, if anything goes wrong, everyone in the Todd family will hate my guts, and then everyone in like
Specifically,
her.
my mom. She
Like,
is not in the right headspace.
oh my God, she would hate my forever. She'd hate me. So I was like, I'm sitting there. I have never, Steven. So I get this phone, right? I get this phone, and I'll tell you, like the amount of times I touched the little timeline and went back, so it didn't go. Like I just kept playing with the phone. So I'd stay on the same song, not make any sounds, but also not let it go to sleep because I was terrified that I'd forget the code, even though it's like imprinted in my brain forever now because I
You
was
know
so.
all of our codes.
I do know all of your codes because I was so scared that I was going to mess up.
Anthony is like Hacker Man now.
I know everything. So I get this information and I was like, I'm in, I got this. But when I showed up, I was like, it hadn't occurred to me. I was like, I'm not the only one being like, marionetted around. And I see you, and you're just like, oh, gotta make this happen. Like straight in the tie. Like I
Well,
see.
because she's like, I see my like, okay, so like this whole like Anthony's duty was thrust upon him, and then I'm standing there and I'm like, okay, how can Anthony fulfill his duty though? Where's the device that's going to connect to the device that's going to play the music? And I see my dad waiting for my sister, and my sister shows up, and obviously she's the bride, so she's like staging herself to
It
be
was
the
a surprise
bride.
party wedding. I know it's very rare. It was a surprise party. We were just like,
And
no,
I
we
was so Brandon, my brother, and I, my other sister who passed away, she was to be the maid of honor. So Brandon and I were basically not a part of the wedding party, but a part of the wedding party to bring out her bouquet and her framed picture. So we knew we had to kind of be somewhere else, and that's where we were. But then, like, we were like, I was basically putting two and two together that no one has brought Anthony any sort of MP3 device. So I see Sarah pull up. I'm like, I bolt and I run to get her, and I'm like, Sarah, your phone, you have the song ready? And she's like, I forgot my phone. So then Tina's like, just take my. Well, I had the foresight to be like, I don't have YouTube Red, so I know
that
if
would have
I
been
give Anthony my phone, it's gonna go to an ad two
yeah.
minutes into this song. And so we had to search the song, load it, hope it was long enough. Which we'll get to that, but um. So yeah, there was like all these things that like you thought for sure would have already been like set up, but I
Situated.
do think without a wedding planner, I do think people don't understand how many details really do go into a wedding that you think like, oh, I've been planning this for so long, like we'll be
Yeah.
fine. But yeah, those last minute like music is a big one though. Like that is definitely something I would have been hypercritical of
Oh,
way more so because I know how at any point one of those electronic devices could have failed and it would have ruined everything,
yeah, and that would have been in my hands
Yeah, it would
even.
have been in your
Dude,
hands.
I was saying to KT, I was just like, I didn't realize I was going to become instrumental to this wedding.
Both. It was an instrumental too.
But yeah, dude, it was crazy. Wait. Before we go on, for those of you joining us for the first time, welcome. I promise we eventually talk about our process and making comics and stuff. This is all part of it. We just discuss like what got in the way first, and then we'll get to like what we actually did this week and such. But
The
seeing,
instrumental we selected, by the
oh,
way,
oh
just
no,
worked out perfectly for the wedding party. Like, because I even told Anthony, I'm like, listen, because I'm like, we both play music, so you're gonna know where there's a spot in the song where you can just restart
yeah.
it real quick when the
I was
music's
sitting there.
supposed.
I was like trying to do the math. I was looking at the timeline in my head. I'm like, okay, well, I think this part sounded good. I can go back to right there if I need to. And like I had it, and I was ready. I was like, if this song dies, I know where I'm going, right? So I'm sitting there the whole time. I'm watching the wedding. I'm trying. I'm like, oh, I'm not gonna cry. I'm not. I'm like, I'm here. I'm like locked into the phone, you
And
know.
dude, it just because Sarah didn't have her own like march song
Yeah.
separate from the wedding party, and her instrumental was A Thousand Years.
Yeah.
And it just worked out so perfect.
Timing.
Like what you got to understand, like as we've already told you how little prepared we were for the music to even work at all. This instrumental and the way the bridge section, the soft, so the big bridge is playing, everything is happening, and then when Sarah walks up with my dad,
Mhm.
the soft bridge plays and it was like it just perfectly worked out
It really
naturally in the
was.
song. It just as if you would have thought that we had practiced like the timing of the steps
Yeah,
of each person to make it work out the way in which it did, but it
100%.
was 100% by chance. It was
Yeah,
just it
it
worked.
was perfect. And it was awesome, dude. But the wedding was great. I'm so glad like Sarah was so happy and Ashton
Mhm.
was really sweet and everything. I did get eaten by a million mosquitoes, Stephen.
Yeah,
Right?
I didn't feel it till I got home, and then when I
Yeah,
got home I was like, ooh, welcome
yeah,
to Florida.
yeah. Those mosquitoes,
The
vampire.
no-see-ums is what we
Yeah,
call
yeah,
them.
I'm sure
They
that's mostly what it was.
because
Just
I didn't see a single mosquito. And if like no-see-ums are just the worst because they swarm you and you don't even see them. Like, dude, sometimes when I'm working, because I work construction for those who are just tuning in, um, sometimes I'll just be walking down the side of the like the yard or whatever to get to the back of the to the pool deck, and like the sun will cut through, and I'll just realize that like there's just thousands of bugs that I'm
no,
just
it's
breathing
crazy.
in. Like I didn't see them a second ago. The light just hits. I'm like, oh my God, I'm literally breathing bugs right now, aren't I? Like
Oh
I
my God.
probably like my lungs are like 10%
It's
insect right
getting,
now.
yeah, dude, getting bit. That's amazing. Getting bit by those things, it feels like being in the middle of a like Dragon Ball Z fight. Like, they just
Yeah.
like,
They're just doing the key blast.
like, when they just like disappear in the air and they appear over here and appear over
Yeah.
here. They're just like, wait, what?
They're moving so fast we can't even see them.
Yeah, exactly, dude. But otherwise, it was great. I think one of my favorite parts of the wedding. Okay, so I love they had like open seating, right? So they had like family seating where they're like, oh, this is specifically for family. So we are like, okay, I don't want to sit there if like your aunts and uncles are gonna sit there. So then they had like a general seating area. I was like, okay, we'll sit here. No one's here yet. Like, cool. Maybe like, Steven will sit with us or something later. We'll see. We sit down and there are all these other seats, right? And this woman, I don't know, sits right next to us, right? And I was like, okay, it's a wedding. This is gonna happen sometimes. Although I will say there were so many other seats and there was no real reason for her to do it. So I'm like, oh yeah, no big deal, whatever. She sits here. She starts doing the thing, Steven. She starts doing the social thing, where people ask you what you do. And I'm
Mhm.
just like, I make comic books, like I like, oh geez, oh gee, yeah, yeah, yeah. So I tell her, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm best friends with the bride's brother. We make comic books together, and she's like, oh yeah, what kind? And just like starts asking these questions, and I'm just like, all right, this is. I feel like you hate me, like I was just like
I feel like we're starting this conversation on the wrong foot.
Yes, yeah. Oh God, I could just see it. I was like, she's one of those people who like she's a little older, and I could see like she has these like this predisposition, like these predilections that aren't for comic books. She's just like comic books. I know those are for kids, like that
Mhm.
kind of thing. The funniest thing though was when you came over and you were like, "Yeah, we do a podcast," and my brain was like, "Oh my God."
This previous week.
This previous week, we talked about a lot of things that this woman would not survive. Like this woman would not. Like, I
And
could
I'm pretty
tell.
sure it happens right away. So I mean
Yeah.
she would be
Oh yeah.
immediately sucked into
Yeah.
the
If
bladder,
if you don't
apparently.
know, check out our if you're interested in hearing some like absolute crazy nonsense, check out our last episode, our previous episode. It was fun.
It's not
Uh,
nonsense, it's the damn truth.
it
No,
was.
I'm just kidding.
But dude, thankfully, eventually she like found other people to talk to and stuff, and then like you and I could talk, and like Tina came over and we were all talking. It was fun and stuff. It was great. It was a good wedding. Like, what did you guys do after we left?
It's just like we're like, yes, the social hour is
Oh,
over. We can
I
just
know.
take our pants off and just not do anything.
Yes, we'll do 100%.
Put on Boston Legal.
Okay, dude, out of nowhere, and I know you know that this happens to me at least a few times a year. I had one of my absolute devastating day devouring allergy attacks that I
Oh
get.
no. Dude, I had a bad one like
Like,
going into yesterday, or was it this morning? I don't remember. But I
it
had
was,
some like really dried stuff come down with like blood attached to
oh
it.
no, oh, I
Yeah.
feel dying. No, don't.
Yeah. It was like little, yeah, it was bad. It was
It
weird this
was
morning.
it was all day yesterday. I couldn't move or like do anything. My whole
Ugh.
body was allergic to being alive yesterday, and it was
It was
just,
just like, nah, I'm done. I'm done existing.
dude, I was going crazy. However, despite everything, Stephen, despite like going through the wedding and like going to the wedding and spending time doing that and being a dad and doing all this stuff, and being sick, I did pretty well this week, Stephen. How
Yeah.
did you?
I did what I anticipated I would do, and I succeeded even with the busy week.
Yes,
Complete
success,
success. Completely
Stephen,
fin
freaking success,
super
she's the
success.
best, sexy success.
Let me get the statistics on that success. Um, it's
There was
not.
one
I
one
will
star.
tell you what I accomplished was not piss. It was truly orgasmic. I finished page 2 of Deathless issue 4 and roughed, and actually I've already laid some final inks on panel 2, but got half of, or 2/3 of page 3 roughed and 1/3 of it final inked. So
Heck yeah.
yeah, I made some pretty solid progress last week actually.
That's amazing. So yeah, you're like working through issue 4 and you're getting these freaking inks done. I completely finished writing issue 5. Like just boom.
Beautiful.
In that's it, in the bag, like ready to go, ready to be drawn and made, and like I'm happy with it. You read it, right? Like did
Oh
you
yeah, it's great.
feel like it's a good ending to that book?
It's
Yeah.
it's the huge battle that this series needs to finish off on.
Yeah,
So
I think so too. It's gonna really like not gonna I'm not gonna make any more. We're done with this squirt gun. But no,
no
I
more Super Soaker 9000s, ladies and gentlemen.
but I think it's good. I think it's a good ending. I feel like it's pretty solid. I'm really excited to get to it. I can't wait to start like flat coloring the pages you're sending me, and I'm gonna letter them. I'm gonna get this book out as quickly as possible because like I'm freaking ready to finish Deathless.
And I did upload them. That's another thing I did, ladies and gentlemen. I actually remembered to upload pages 1 and 2.
Dude, also I got these stickers.
Oh, the bear. Oh, it's so cool.
It's so
And
cool.
like
I'm so
get a
excited.
close up on it. I want the people to know the ones that back the t-shirt, that's going to be the shirt design. It is Beryl just wrecking some Care Bears
So
and it's
cool.
beautiful. And that I actually did it in like Care Bear art style. So there's no black lines. It's all like colored lines and things like that.
I love it. It looks so
And
good.
it's a direct parody of one of the famous like Care Bear shirts from back in the day.
Yeah.
So it's beautiful.
Dude, it looks so cool. And we have all the comics. We have all the stickers. We have all we need are like the holofoil comics and the t-shirts. Aside from that, we have everything we need to ship out our stuff for the Kickstarter. Like all of the what do you call
Maybe
it?
this weekend we can get to wait. No, this weekend's too busy. But maybe next weekend we can get together and package what. Even if the hollow foils aren't in yet, we still should be able to package like 90%
Yeah,
of the
dude. Like that.
Kickstarter.
We're definitely at least 90% because the holofoils and t-shirts only account for like a handful of people. So that'll
Yeah,
be really cool.
and those are different. I box those differently anyway. I give anyone
Oh
that
yeah.
gets those ones the bigger boxes. So yeah.
Yeah, dude. I can't wait. I'm so glad we have all this stuff. I'm so ready to like send all the stuff out so people can read these comics. I
And
can't.
I'm going to take this special moment to let Levi and Trix know that I haven't forgotten about your previous order. I'm just going to send everything as one. I was going to send it much sooner. Things in my life happened with my sister and everything. And then I just figured everything's close enough. I'm going to send everything as one big thing, but I'm going to take good care of you for waiting so patiently for those backup issues of Play It Again.
Yeah,
So,
we have special stuff to give to you guys. But speaking of our friend Levi, we do have some questions from the colony today.
ooh,
Like let's before we get out of here, let's do a quick questions from the colony
okay.
like
You
segment.
feel the thunder, thunder, the lightning crashing in the background. You start to wonder, wonder what the profound questions you have found. You run over fast, you ride your bird, you drink a dirt flavored Kool-Aid, but you still got words to ask. Anthony, Stevie, questions from the colony. Anthony, Stevie, questions from the colony. Sorry, I changed it up.
That was good. That was a good one. I'm like, oh, I'm all about that. That was one of my favorite questions from the colony songs of all time. So, if you're visiting for the first time, first of all, welcome. Thank you so much. Please subscribe to the channel, comment below if you can. Let us know if you have any questions for us or comments or concerns, or if you want to know where to buy our books. I mean, they should all be in the thing below. But otherwise, we get together and we're trying to build this colony or cult, whatever it may be. And we let everyone ask us whatever the heck they want. And we'll answer it on our show. This week, we have a few questions from people. Let's see what they ask. So, Tyler Kirk wants to know, he says, first things first, what are the rules?
The
I'm guessing
rules of the
means
cult,
of the colony. He wants
the
to know.
colony. So really, it's just don't be a dick. If you're
Mhm.
not a dick, that's basically the only rule.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think that's the only rule, right? Don't be a dick.
That's pretty much it. Like,
That's it.
yeah, that's pretty much it. So let's see. Tyler also asks, he wants to know, who's your favorite comic book artist, and if you have favorite poets, who are your favorite poets?
Ooh, my favorite comic book artist. I always get nervous that I'm mispronouncing it, but is Jerome Pena, I think is how it's pronounced.
Mhm.
And Carlo Barberi, and they were both artists. They both did like versions of Deadpool. Jerome did it through Uncanny X-Force, which is one of my favorite Marvel comics ever. Um, and his pencils are probably the like outside of like who's the like painter Marvel artist that Alex
Yeah,
Ross.
Alex Ross. Well, he does. Yeah, he does
Yeah.
DC and Marvel.
Oh, he does DC and Marvel, but yeah, but his were like the super realistic looking like portrait esque like art with the painting. Jerome Pena is like that with pencils. His pencils, like people, they don't ink his pencils. Like his pencils are so clean and shaded that they literally just color on top of his pencils.
Yeah.
And he's just such an inspiration. Like he's so talented. And then Carlo just has, I love his unique style. He's got a very like I want to say like chunky, think like Lilo and Stitch, like but like more dramatized, and
Even, hang on
it's
1 second. I'm sorry to interrupt you. Did you know? I just found this out today. Did you know? Do you know who plays the voice of Lilo in Lilo and Stitch?
who?
The little girl from The Ring.
No way! What a weird fun fact.
Right? I just learned that today. Isn't
I'm
it weird?
surprised they didn't squeeze a 7 day like joke in
It's
Lilo and Stitch.
so good. Anyway, I'm
That's
sorry.
so awesome. But anyways, Carlo just has a really cool, fun, cartoony, but also badass arts. In fact, Carlo actually, I think he's the main illustrator of Spawn now. Like Todd
Oh, cool.
McFarlane, like
That's
he does
amazing.
all
That
the
makes
yeah,
sense.
and it makes sense because he does this so expressive with masked characters. Like his Deadpool is such an expressive Deadpool, like with the eyes and mouth like that show
Yeah.
through. But yeah, those are my two favorite artists. I'm not huge on poetry. So I'm just going to be a basic like white bitch and just say Edgar Allan Poe because that's probably the poet that I would relate most to, or I could think about I would relate most to
Yeah.
because
Poe
I
or
loved emo music
George
and
FL.
therefore I love Edgar
Yeah.
Allan emo, you know?
Emo. Impo. Edgar Allan Impo. I like it.
How about you, Anthony?
My favorite comic book artist, as far as style, probably Mike Mignola.
Yeah, dude, Hellboy.
I
Is it
can't,
the
yeah.
Hellboy, right? Yeah, his
Something
Hellboy.
about, yeah, dude, something about that style. I just like, I literally, I can't get enough of it. Whenever
He's someone that really took like the I don't want to draw a lot of like he draws really well, but he's the one that was like I'm going to take heavy inks and just be so expressive with those
yeah,
black inks
he's
that
so
you
good with
don't
it.
need a lot of detail. You just
Right.
draw something and with and his
Yeah,
heavy
it's
shadowing is
well, like
so good.
there's something about like that imperfect, like stylistic style where it's it's him and then like Frank Miller had that situation.
Hmm.
But then aside from that, I've always loved Mike Allred and just Rob Schraub who did Scud. I love them so much. As far as poets, it's always gonna be, I mean, I'm also like basic bitch like Shakespeare, but I also like a lot of like nerdy like spoken word stuff. I like Buddy Wakefield and he's more
Yeah. Oh, I guess that counts. I didn't even think
yeah,
of that. Like even like
yeah,
some
like
gorilla, even some gorilla songs are like
Gorillaz songs.
spoken songs.
I like stuff, that kind of stuff. But let me see. Oh, Crust Confidential says basically they want to know when we're going to be on their show or have like a crossover. So soon, whenever you want, like plan it, like let us know, put us on our calendar and tell us where to be. We'll do our best.
We
Let me
usually just show up. We will just like you just throw a day at us,
like
like
we're gonna
give us
be we're
give us
gonna
like a
be
couple weeks of like prep,
yeah
and then just
we're
make
gonna
it.
be
Let us
on
be
Don't Make It
Batman.
Weird in a couple days. Yeah,
Yeah,
we just show up. We'll just do it. Okay. My beautiful fiance KT Carlisle has a couple questions. She says, "Can I get a progress update on table scraps? Even though you gave me one yesterday, or you gave me one on today." Um, so yeah, so I'm only a few chapters like away from finishing table scraps, and then I'm going to pass it over to her and like have her like read it as like a just kind of like an editor and give me some ideas of what
she
might
destroys it.
be.
Like she just
Oh,
decimates.
she
It's
may
like the
try.
first real big fight of your
Yeah, yeah.
like just
Oh my God, the first fight ever. No, no, maybe she will. I don't know. Be nice.
nah.
But
She's
yeah.
she's too much of a sweetie to
Oh
ever
yeah.
do anything that would cause you to be offended. So
Oh yeah, for sure, dude. But I'm only a few chapters away from finishing it. I'm loving it. I'm ready for it to be done though. I'm like I can't wait to for people to see this weird book. She also asked follow-up question, when are you planning to release it? I want to release it this year. Like I was planning on like October if I can because it's like a horror book, Halloween,
it's perfect.
It kind of makes sense. So that's probably the answer. Let me see. Follow-up question. Are you and Steven going to adapt it into a graphic novel? I don't know. That'd be cool. We haven't really talked.
I really want to do a light novel with you because I feel like your writing is so expressive and so good. And then
Mhm.
a light novel would allow me to just draw really cool, like, was it like 15 random pages or so
Yeah.
throughout it to like
Yeah.
really like send it home. You know what I'm saying? Like, I
Yeah.
think it'd be really cool. I
That
think
would
it's a
be
cool, it would also attract like people from all walks of who we engage with socially because it would have
yeah.
the artwork, but it would also have your awesome writing. So.
Thank you. I don't know. Yeah, we haven't talked a lot about what we're gonna work on next, but we're gonna figure it out. Also, she asked if I'd marry her, and I will. Yes, next year.
Duh, it's
Yeah,
happening. 15th. Boom.
January 15th. So Heather Pruitt says, as artists, are you as well? How do I say it? annoying as I am when watching television and guessing what will happen next, and or thinking of something even more wild. Yes. Like I just watched Wolfman with my fiance, and you could like literally ask her on Twitter. I guessed the whole movie in 2 minutes. Like before, like the movie starts with a flash, like in the past. Not that it tells you that, but I was like, okay, this is a cut. I was like, this is exactly what's gonna happen. And I told her, and I was right about everything. Like it was crazy. It was crazy. But here's the thing, it was fun. It was kind of fun to watch anyway. But yeah, dude, I do that. I do that where
Yeah, like
yes.
sometimes because Tina and I watch a lot of like random shows that like have like it's like your monster of the week type
Yeah.
shows, but not even if it's a creature show, but just like every episode and like I'll straight up tell her she'll be like, oh, I wonder if this is gonna happen. I'll be like, no, it doesn't make sense for this to happen actually because this character wouldn't have been introduced at this point to you know what I'm saying. So this
Yeah.
character is being introduced for a specific reason, and I'm like, and then sure is shit. That's what
Yep.
ends up happening. Like this
Yep.
character's not gonna die because I knew because there's why would they do this if they allowed this character to survive this? Why would this character die here? It doesn't make sense
Yeah.
unless they
Very.
were just trying to D
It,
and D
it,
like
it, it,
do a horrible subversion of
One
expectation like they did in Game of
100%.
Thrones.
And it's
That's
very
the
rare
only
that it
way.
happens, but it
Yeah.
happened. Yeah. All right. So lastly, on as far as the Twitter X situation, we have our good friend Edwin at Lost Between Worlds asks, "What the heck is going on in the Tremors fan group?" All right, I can explain this. People can't help themselves. That's all that's going on. Is if the like the longer you let a leash go, the more people will nip out whatever they can and pee on whatever hydrant they can reach. Um, but like the truth
Sport.
is, so so there's a Tremors fan group on Facebook, and previously on the Tremors fan group, people would talk like post silly memes and talk about Tremors, and it wouldn't be like it would be pretty like non-political. Recently, people have began just posting political memes like one way or another and just like dogpiling on people one way or another. And it's just like it's to me, I don't care. It's a random Facebook group. Who cares what they do? You know, like yeah, it's like whatever you want your group to be, that's what it is. But what happens is, of course, some people hate it and they're like, oh, I want it to be what it was before. I'm like, all right, well, it's not. Go find another group. I don't, like I don't know. That's how
You
I feel
gotta
about
start anew. This is what happens.
this is what happens on the internet. Like my favorite version of this was the Rick and Morty Reddit. There was a Rick and Morty. I know I brought this up in the podcast at one point, but like it's my favorite thing that happened on the internet. And you can still, I'm pretty sure it's still up there. You can look it up. But there's a subreddit, and it started off as Rick and Morty hate group, where people were just like, I hate Rick and Morty. It's the worst show ever. Blah blah blah. Someone someone became a moderator of it and changed it to a Rick and Morty scrub cap, like operating room scrub cap appreciation post subreddit, and they started specifically posting about scrub caps and nothing else, right? And this person found a way to change the password so the original moderator couldn't get in anymore. So the original moderator, dude, so the original moderator starts writing all these posts. He's like, I can't believe you did this to me. This isn't fair. That's not what this is about. And the guy would post, new moderator would post and be like, hey, keep it on topic, buddy. We have rules here. It's so, but
Flip
like,
the script.
he flipped the script on him because it was all about hate, and now he's just like, "This is funny as hell," and it makes me laugh so much. Anyway, things change and evolve, and if it's not for you anymore, find something that is, or make something that.
Dude, I'm part of the I like on Facebook, like it's X-Men 97. I forget which
Yeah,
group it is specifically, but I joined it when the show first came out.
yeah,
And like when I first joined it, it was just excitement and talk about how each episode
yeah.
was great. And dude, like legit, it's the same thing you're describing. When I like scroll my Facebook feed and I see the X-Men 97 group, it's one of two things. It's either a meme that's completely for or completely hates on like the right who hate
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
dude, it's full political. Like
It's full.
it's Magneto saying things
That's
that
yeah,
Magneto would never say, and
yeah,
it's crazy, dude.
yeah.
It's
That's a
crazy.
bit, but
I saw that the Tremors group had a copy pasta in it, and that's how
yeah.
you know you've really gotten a good shit posting group going is when there's copy pastas flying around on it.
Oh
So
yeah. But that's what it is. It's just become a shit posting group where like
yeah,
people are, it's tangentially about Tremors, but it's not anymore, and that's fine. Sometimes that happens. But serious question: besides the podcast you started with Katie Carlisle, in what ways have being with another writer or has been being with another writer affected your writing? You know what? I have more time to write now, and I also feel like she supports me, like in the writing, like she wants to see me succeed in it. So like that does make me feel good. And I
The
also,
editorial help too that you both probably give to each other is just
yeah,
so beneficial, I can imagine.
absolutely, dude. Like she's been working through a new book idea and like it's so much fun to kind of navigate that and be like, "Oh, do you want some help here? Because I have some cool ideas with this." And she's like, "Heck yeah." And you're like, "Give me all of your ideas." And I'm like, "Yes, I love that's my favorite thing in the world. I love just like spitballing. It's so much fun." So like we've been able to do that and it's like it's helped because it kind of like reinforces your like ambition a little bit, but also just kind of like bolsters you and makes you feel like motivated. It's good. Oh, and then he says, at Stevie Wildcard, has being with a makeup artist affected your art in any way? Has being with someone like Tina who does,
With teen, oh yeah, my hair for sure. Like hairstyles, she'll always be like, oh, like especially like M's. I remember when I did M,
yeah,
she goes, that's a really good pixie, honestly. Like I've been looking at it and like the way the way you have the growth patterns going and stuff like that. Yeah, for sure. I mean, in color theory too. Believe it or not, like Tina's very talented in color theory because that's, I mean, a huge part of being a really good hairstylist is that. So
yeah,
like, yeah, she's really good at like helping me like match tones and things like that. So.
heck yeah. Okay, so then we have a series of questions from Levi, and there's a
Love you,
lot.
Levi.
We love you, Levi, and we're gonna power through these. If you're with us right now, please hit the like button, subscribe if you can, comment below, let us know if you have questions for us, and we will answer them in a future episode. Otherwise, here is a litany, a bevy, just a smorgasbord
Here's
of
an AR
it
test.
is. Yeah. Here we go. Ready? Is it too late questions? No. Does that count as a question? Yes. What qualifies as a good question for podcasting? And good is subjective. What is
I
love?
love it. I love most questions, if I'm honest.
That's
So,
Stephen answered. How would you react if Poseidon possessed your penis, Stephen?
ooh, obviously I'm dicking down some fish. I mean, right? I mean, that's what's happening, right? Poseidon, Poseidon like prefers aquatic animals over terrestrial ones, right? I would maybe not. Maybe I jumped the gun on the whole fish fucking thing.
Where is
Maybe
Mitch McCrocken Ben Lately? Where is
Mitch
Mitch
McCrocken,
McCrocken?
he has actually taken a sabbatical and he has flown to Mars where he inadvertently discovered space tremors.
Ooh, awesome. I mean, I'm pretty sure they came from space originally. Well, I mean, I think the
Super
jury is
space
out on-
tremors, like
Nice. I like
Mars space specifically.
it. Okay, here's another question. Will the wild card women work wonders with Wednesday's worries?
That's just an awesome
Yes or no question. It's an alliterative
yes.
yes or no. Yes? Okay. When is it a bad time for humanity to stop lying to children about Santa Claus? They should have stopped lying a long time ago and just told everyone that Santa Claus is
I'll
real.
be honest with you, we actually never lied to our kids about Santa. When they asked us, we're like, I don't know. I mean, what do you think? You think there's just some guy up in the North Pole? Like we were always like that with them. Like
That's always,
we didn't take the magic away. We let their imaginations run wild, but we also were never like,
yeah, that's
no,
funny.
he's fucking real. You
Yeah,
fucking believe in this jolly man.
basically the same thing. Do you love the weather we're having? Actually, it's been really nice today. Yesterday,
Today,
crazy stormy here.
yeah, oh,
Where
it was horrible. Actually, I had yesterday off because of
Oh,
the
did you?
storms.
Yeah,
Yeah,
thank you. Yeah,
that's
thankfully.
why I drew a lot yesterday.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, no, Florida this time of year, like when it's hot this time of year, it's actually just very comfortable because the Gulf breeze makes the summer kind of bearable. So
True.
if it's like even if it's like 85 down here during the winter, it feels great. So,
Oh yeah. Um, why is America flailing, Stephen?
oh man, there's a lot of ways to answer that question. I feel like we've been flailing from the get. Let's just be honest.
I mean, to be fair, America's basically a toddler. Are there any good Nazis, Stephen?
Ooh, I don't think so. I don't think
No.
there's a single good Nazi. I mean, the word Nazi itself very much is just
No good Nazis. I mean, obviously, what
Red
happened?
Skull. I mean, is like probably like one of the worst examples of one. Like, dude, that one Ultimates comic where he freaking killed the baby and everything. It was wild.
I think it depends on your definition of good. I'm gonna say here, I'm not gonna go to bat for any Nazis, but I'm just gonna say that there's some movies with Taika Waititi that are fun to watch. That doesn't make them good. No, I'm just kidding. No,
Fair
of course
point.
not.
Is that where he's
Yeah,
like his imaginary?
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
That was really fun. Oh, like, yeah. Charlie Chaplin, not a Nazi, but also had a lot of fun in the costume.
The
No, of
ori-
course not.
he was the
Um,
original costume, really.
will I stop asking questions once I run out of the qualifying question starter words? No. Can you give us that sweet, sweet wild card questioning ending theme song you always play to close us out, Steven? That's the final one.
Today, you listen to the questions from the colonists slash cultists, and they had good ones. Levi maybe had the best. And this is the end of those questions. So Anthony and I can go to bed. Well, probably not him because he's got to edit this and publish it before tomorrow ends. That is the end of the questions from the colony.
Nice. I love it. Thank you all for your questions. We really love you. We appreciate the heck out of you. If you have questions for us, ask us here, ask us on Twitter. We'll find a way. I'll write them down. We'll figure it out. We also have Patreon and mostly on Twitter. Or, go there and ask us whatever you want, and we'll answer it in the future. Steven, otherwise, what are you going to do this week?
I am gonna finish page 3 and start page 4, but you,
What happened?
I'm also gonna like, I don't, dude, that Boys to Men song bothers me.
Okay, which one?
Is it the end of the road? I'm not sure if it's that. I think it is end of the road. But when the talking part happens, it bothers me because he's just like I've just never heard someone be like, I know you were cheating on me, baby. I just didn't care. I just didn't care because I love you so much. And it's just like, I don't
Um,
even like using this word, but it's like the cuckiest thing I've
Luckiest
ever
thing.
heard on a song. I hate that word,
I
but
know.
I don't know
Yeah.
how else to describe that. Like, it just every time that song comes on, I wait for that talking part because I know it just makes me laugh so hard. Sorry, I don't know.
It just like it's like if Jolene, if like she's just like Jolene, Jolene, please just take my man. Like, wait, what are you
I know
guys?
you slept with Jolene. I just
Yeah.
didn't care. I know. Yeah, you did. You cared. What do you mean you didn't care? You didn't
Yeah.
care.
What do
How
you
could
wrote
you
a song
possibly
about
love
not
her
caring?
and not care? Like what?
How does this sound? Yeah, I feel you two should see other people for sure. Unless she's really into this.
She must
In which case,
like
do
be
what
the
you want. I don't care.
the
Yeah.
baddest bee on the planet. Like
Um. Anyway, Steven, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do this week? What are you up to?
finish. I'm gonna finish page 3, and I'm gonna do my best to finish page 4 as well. We'll see. I have Unova tour this weekend, which is a big pogo event.
Oh,
So
cool. Okay. This week I'm going to start writing Bloodlust issue 2, and I'm also going to
awesome. So I can work on that too.
yeah,
Yeah.
and then I'm also going to be I'm gonna edit as much of Table Scraps as I can. So I'm probably gonna get through like the next couple of
It's
chapters.
crazy how many projects we're juggling now, but it's
Yeah, dude,
so awesome.
it feels so good to be getting this stuff out. I'm like, I just can't freaking wait. I can't wait. I'm excited. But that's what we're gonna be doing this week. It was Steven, I love you. It was good to
I
see you
love
this
you
week.
too,
I hope we
dude.
get to see you again soon. Thank you all for watching. Thank you for listening. If you're only listening on one of the various podcasting apps, that means that I was reminded and remembered to post it. And oh my gosh, Steve, I've been so bad at that lately. But thank you all for joining us. Thank you for being a part of this. We really do appreciate the heck out of you. And we hope you'll read some of our books and hopefully you like them. We didn't even talk about what Deathless is about. It doesn't matter if you made it this far. You know what our books are about. Steven, what do you want to say to the people?
I love and appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you so much for just being our ride or dies. We genuinely appreciate you guys tuning in each and every week. Thank you so much.
Yes. We love you so much. Thank you so much. Until next time, I'm Anthony.
And I am Stevie Wildcard.
This has been We Have Issues. See you next week.
Squirt! I'm just kidding.
All right. All right, let's get started.
Although Yancey the tick accidentally bit a Yorkie and he is just yipping all over and no one's afraid of him at all.
No one's
like
but people keep avoiding him so he can't bite anything else. He's just stuck as a Yorkie for the rest
stuck
of
as
his
a Yorkie.
that
He is
will-
what he ate, and now that's it.
Oh my God. Can you imagine like I guess not everyone would be picky, but imagine like how picky we would be if we literally were like, God, I need to eat a cheeseburger. I'm so hungry. I want a cheeseburger. And then we eat it and we just become a cow or a
We just
cheeseburger. Like, we're just like,
become all the ingredients separated from a cow.
just like our hair is lettuce. We're wearing a hat as a bun. We're just like, oh, this is my life. This is me now.
Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom.
Plus the booze count and boom, boom, boom.
Boom. Love you guys.